Hello everyone, my name is Life California. I am Director of Communications here at March for Our Lives San Diego, and I am so excited to present to all of you the first part of our first ever education series on the importance of voting yes on Measure B. Our policy and outreach team has worked tirelessly to put this all together and ensure that our community is informed on local politics and policies. We hope you guys enjoy, and be sure to tune in for Part B and C coming after this one.
Hello everyone, we are members of March for Our Lives, and today we are going to be discussing Section 40 of the San Diego Charter and its benefits. First and foremost, we would like to introduce ourselves. I'm Analia Bonuelos, and I'm a part of the policy team in March for Our Lives.
Hi, my name is Arina Washington.
Each of us will be examining and breaking down Section 40 to create a better understanding for you all. It's essential to learn and grasp the important concepts that Section 40 provides. It's important to understand Section 40 because it gives you a better insight on this agenda that this new commission has, and reasons why you should be in favor of this commission. Before getting started with the breakdown, we are going to explain some key terms and phrases that are crucial to know in order to better understand Section 40. Beginning with the term Chief Legal Advisor, which is another title for City Attorney. A city attorney shall and can be elected for a 4-year term. The city attorney is the chief legal advisor of the city attorneys and departments and offices that relate to official powers and duties. The city attorney must be licensed to practice law in the state of California for at least 10 years at time before he or she submits nominating petitions. Next, we use the term commission to refer to a group of people officially charged with a particular function. Which leads us to our next term, CRB, or what is otherwise known as Commission Review Board. The Commission Review Board on Police Practices has to review and evaluate serious speculations and complaints against officers, a part of the San Diego Police Department. They also review all officer-related shootings along with custody deaths. When evaluating the following, they also review and discuss the discipline for officers who have had complaints filed against them. The primary objective is to ensure complaints against the San Diego Police Department are investigated thoroughly. As you can tell, this isn't enough to hold police officers accountable to the best ability. This new commission on police practices is implemented. It would completely get rid of the current CRB and be replaced with an independent commission that is community-led, which is created and controlled by the people rather than law enforcement and politicians. The alter of the CRB will tremendously strengthen the current commission put into place by replacing the current overseer, who is the mayor. The mayor is also the same person who is currently the advisor of the San Diego Police Department. This creates a conflict of interest, whether it's intentional or not. However, the new commission, if approved, will get rid of this current system, creating an unbiased playing field, essential for making it easier to seek justice. The next term is mayor, which is the elected head of city or town. Now that we know and understand these terms, I will continue to explain what Section 40 is. In the amending charter, Section 40 deeply analyzed the ins and outs of the role city attorney plays and the limit of the power they may have. A city attorney shall be elected for a 4-year term. The 10th day of December lands on a weekend or a holiday, which is the attended day for a city attorney to hold office. The 4-year term must begin at 10 a.m. on the next calendar day that does not have a holiday or does not fall on a weekend. A city attorney is limited to no more than 2 consecutive 4-year terms to hold this position. When appointed city attorney, they are not to engage in private legal practices during their 4-year term. The only exception is concluding of any matters taken on before entering their term. The attorney, in addition to their deputies, must dedicate their complete time to the duties from the office and refrain from any additional legal practices in their term, meaning they cannot take part in any additional duties within the city. By doing so, this can prevent many conflicts of interest and is very beneficial due to them only focusing on their specific duties in order to prevent other issues from getting in the way. The city attorney must be licensed in law in addition to having a minimum of 10 years of being licensed within the state of California. This is so important to have a complex background in being licensed in law because it's important to have someone in charge and have a big responsibility, and having communities depend on your decision making. Having a minimum of 10 years of extended knowledge in law allows citizens to trust them within their decision making. As we mentioned earlier, the elected city attorney is responsible for being chief legal advisor and attorney for city and all departments and offices in ties to their power and their obligations. However, this is not including the Ethics Commission and Commission on Police Practices. Going slightly into the Ethics Commission, it's also independent and does not have to report to the mayor. Their duty is providing proper education and training for governmental ethic laws to city officials, employees, and candidates for city office and their staff. Commission on Police Practices, mentioned earlier, appoints to the City Council to conduct investigations and subpoena witnesses in addition to documents related to deaths resulting from police interaction and complaints made against police officers. Both of these must have their own legal counsel and independent of the city attorney. The city attorney can give and assign jobs such as deputies, assistants, and employees to serve, which can be provided by ordinance among the council. The city attorney shall appoint no more than 6 assistant city attorneys and 4 additional assistants who serve the city attorney, helping with anything he or she may need assistance with. However, these assistants can be removed by the city attorney at any given moment. This commission goes into depth on how no deputy city attorney who has served continuously in the office can be terminated or suspended without a good reason to do so. However, this doesn't attest to the lack of sufficient work within the office, which can lead to layoff due to the insufficient appropriation to meet the salary requirements necessary to maintain existing personnel in the office of city attorney. It's so important to ensure that deputy attorneys do their job the best way possible. The deputy attorney is expected to constantly work at their highest levels of integrity, honesty, and professionalism. A reasonable purpose as to why a deputy city attorney termination or suspension can be due to failure to comply with California rules of professional conduct, however, is not limited to being a reason as to why a deputy city attorney can be at risk of termination and or suspension. The city attorney is obligated to personally and or have an assistant designated to give guidance in writing when it's requested. The writing can be requested by council, its committees, the manager, the commissions, and or directors of any department. However, advice must be written in the citations of authorities in support of the conclusions and written opinions. In addition, the city attorney shall have custody and be in charge of all legal papers, books, and dockets belonging to the city connected to their office. Upon receipt, therefore, may demand and receive from any officer of the city any book, paper, documents, or evidence necessary to be used in any suit or required for the purpose of the office. The city attorney must apply, upon order of council, the name of city to a court of competent jurisdiction to restrain the misapplication of funds of the city or abuse of corporate powers, in addition of the execution of performance of any contract made on behalf of the city. The city attorney, upon order of the council, shall apply a court competent jurisdiction for a writ of mandamus, which is a court order issued by a judge by a petitioner's request engaging someone to execute a duty which is legally has to be completed. The city attorney has authority to employ competent technical legal attorneys to further help them with investigations and prosecute matters attached to the department of the city when guidance or assistance is needed. The council must implement sufficient funds for the annual appropriation ordinance for function and charge legal service systems against the departments. On December 10th of 2020, the given salary paid to a city attorney will be the equivalent salary prescribed by law and is adjusted by law for judges of the Superior Court for State of California. Their salary is not allowed to decrease during their term of office. The last thing that Section 40 covers is that if and whenever there is a vacancy within the office of the city attorney, an assistant city attorney is designated by the city attorney to fulfill duties in event of vacancy and whose name has been recorded with city clerk as interim city attorney. In the event of vacancy, shall fulfill the duties of city attorney and the interim city attorney until replacement can be fulfilled or is elected, provided by this charter. The interim city attorney will be appointed to have authority of the office. Now, as you can tell, this section is very complex and talks about the power a city attorney as well as their employees have. Now we have a better understanding of this section. Now let's discuss the benefits that this new commission has altogether.
Some major benefits that will come with passing this commission include the new commission will be required to use independent investigations not related to the San Diego Police Department. As of right now, the system currently in place is restricted to only reviewing investigations managed by the Internal Affairs Department of the San Diego Police Department. The Internal Affairs is a division of law enforcement agencies that further investigate incidents and speculations of misconduct by officers. As of right now, that's what's put into place, and it isn't enough to hold police officers accountable for their law-breaking actions. Many San Diegans have been affected by misconduct from police officers, and there is no reliable source to have these police officers be held accountable for their actions. Passing this commission will overlook the Internal Affairs Department and allow independent investigations to be community-led, endorsing a sense of hope and trust to the San Diegans, knowing police officers will be finally held accountable for unlawful actions. This commission will have its own staff, policies as well as procedures in order to ensure the independent and transparent accountability for police officers. The system that is currently in place is ran by the San Diego Mayor, which oversees the San Diego Police Department. The mayor has received campaign support from Police Officers Association. The San Diego Police Officers Association was made up in 1953 and helps assist police officers with issues such as wages, working hours, working conditions, and more. Having the mayor receive campaign support by the SDPOA makes San Diegans unheard of and not confident with the system put into place, in fear because the constant campaign support the mayor receives from the SDPOA is creating conflict. Another benefit that the commission provides with Measure B is that it will require independent legal counsel with no conflicts. A legal counsel gives legal advice and/or represents clients in court proceedings. The role of a legal counsel can include presenting cases to judges or juries, filing legal briefs, filing appeals, and negotiating settlements and legal disputes. The current system depends on the city attorney for representation and advice. However, the city attorney also has to advise and represent the mayor, as well as the San Diego Police Department. Voting yes to this commission will allow the independent legal counsel investigations without conflict from any other external factors, such as positions within city roles. Measure B also not only benefits the San Diego community as a whole, this could potentially help police officers' families. This commission will investigate cases such as domestic violence by law enforcement. As of right now, the current system does little to nothing for police officers' significant others, allowing possible victims of officer-involved domestic violence, also known as OIDP. Domestic violence cases with the families of officers often slip through the cracks. It is an immense problem with police families. Studies have found that 40% of police officer families experience domestic violence in comparison to the 10% of families in general population. There is a myriad of reasons as to why studies show that police officers have a higher rate to be domestic abusers. However, victims of OIPD are very hesitant to report their incidents in fear of retaliation, causing further abuse. Another factor as to why they do not report it is because when they report it, it is not taken seriously, and no deep investigation occurs. A police officer frequently utilizes their police status and power further, preventing their victims to report abuse. Passing this commission will allow domestic abuse cases to be taken more seriously with deeper investigations in addition to holding the police officers more accountable, causing a decrease of domestic violence within police officers in San Diego. Voting yes supports amending the city charter that would replace the Community Review Board on Police Practices. Implementing the Commission on Police Practices would direct City Council to conduct independent investigations in addition to subpoena witnesses and documents related to police misconduct such as police-related deaths, complaints made against officers, and physical injuries by officers. When you vote no on Measure B, you're opposing amending the city's charter to establish and keep the Commission on Police Practices. With the new independent commission, San Diegans will now feel assured and finally feel a sense of ease knowing their voices will be heard. These investigations related to police officer misconduct will be free from conflict, politics, and special interest pressures. This commission will result in fewer incidents of unlawful actions, fewer SDPD officer-related shootings, and a decrease in custody deaths. It is extremely important to vote yes on this commission in order to make San Diego a safer community for its residents. As of now, San Diego Police Department uses forces 95% higher than 42 other police departments. City studies show that there is a consistent data proving that there is discrimination among the police department, especially against the LGBTQ+, BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, people of color, unsheltered, and disabled communities. It is very important to vote yes on Measure B because this could help decrease the high percentage of discriminatory acts against communities. Although there is already a commission in place, there are obvious things that need to be changed and polished to be at its best potential. The old CRB was unable to commission their goals of making our community safe, and those who are opposed to keep our community safe abuse their power and aren't held accountable, causing community to lose hope in those who are supposed to protect us. All of these wonderful proposals that this new commission plans on implementing will allow complete transparency within the SDPD, regaining our trust and hope in the SDPD to finally be held accountable. So make sure to vote yes on Measure B. Thank you.